When we Atraxi first took to the stars, we wondered what kind of creatures we would encounter. We were some of the first to roam the universe on our generation ships. We thought our understanding of physics was far beyond other species, that our technology was unrivaled. We thought ourselves the best at everything. That was until we met the Terrans. Hailing from a Class 6 death world, the Terrans were an extremely diverse group of species. Yes, you heard that correctly. A group of species from a Class 6 death world, first of its kind, which was thought to be impossible to exist. Multiple sapient species had developed simultaneously on this cradle world, and by some miracle had coexisted long enough to get to space together. What was most surprising, however, was how similar yet different they all were. It was as if a bunch of subspecies had split off from the main one while adapting to their world. Some were tall and skinny with pointy ears. Some were short and had excessive body hair. Some had horns, some had scales, and some had tails. It was an irregularity to have this much diversity of sapient life originate from a single planet. The most we'd seen before was the Averan, who had split into two sides after a war and eventually evolved into two separate subraces. And then we learned something even more curious. They had access to what they had called catalyst particles, a type of particle almost unperceivable to those without a predisposition to it. Some of the Terrans had the ability to freely manipulate the catalyst particles, causing all sorts of anomalies. It allowed them to do things that would normally be impossible given the laws of physics. It changed how their technology developed at its very core. Most, if not all of the devices made use of the catalyst particles in some way. We needed to understand, so we asked for a demonstration. We were directed to an open field where large metallic crates hovered over rows of plants, spreading a fine mist of water. We asked if they had already mastered repulsor tech, seeing as the crates had no effect when passing over a plant. They were confused for a moment and then explained that this was the work of gravity manipulation magic. They explained that, while similar in function, this construct had no internal electronics. It was actually closer to a simple watering can being held in place by the large pillar in the center of the field. This was simply the beginning. Next up, we were taken to one of their manufacturing facilities. It was astonishing. Cutting-edge machinery working in tandem with catalyst particle manipulators, working to produce a ridiculous quantity of items, with a level of efficiency even the Derricks would envy. Their engineers had looked at physics and taken it as a mere suggestion. Then we were taken to see their armies. We watched as a single platoon demonstrated having enough firepower to decimate a whole town on its own. They had combined physics and their magic to create extremely powerful weapons. Every soldier was equipped with CPM rifles that could shoot adaptive ammunition. It didn't matter what the target was. They had found a way to deal with it. We were also presented their cultures and history. It was a miracle any of them still existed. Their cultures were as diverse as their population, and they had a history covered in gore and bloodthirst. They had fought each other for millennia. Then we learned how they began to coexist. They had encountered extraplaners. We Atraxi had long theorized about the existence of other realities. Parallel universes were thought to exist, but until then, nobody had managed to prove it. Yet the Terrans not only had confirmed their existence, but they had united through fighting multiple wars against them. The mere existence of Terrans had changed the entirety of our knowledge about our reality. They were a physical manifestation of all the impossibilities in the universe. They spat in the face of the laws of physics for fun, and were diverse enough that you would think this was a galactic hub planet. The Terrans broke every single rule in the book, and they thrived because of it. It's been around 230 cycles since that first encounter. The introduction of the diverse Terrans into the galactic community has been a massive success. They had changed the rules of the game. They shared their technology and their magic with us, and soon enough, we had advanced into a new golden age because of them. The Terrans had forever changed the rules of reality, and we thank them for it. Excerpt from an article about Terran First Contact by Dr. Eximir of the Atraxi Historical Preservation Foundation. Hey everybody, thanks again for watching. All the things I used in the video are in the description below. If you have a story you'd like to see narrated, please let me know and I'll see if I can contact the author and we can make that happen. Thanks again, and remember to look up and seek the stars.